Hi everybody, it's your pal Revolver84 here, and today I want to talk to you about what I think of Outbreak, the latest installment from Rainbow Six Siege. Now, Outbreak has come out as part of the Chimera update, and it's a month-long one-off event, which is absolutely free, which is sort of based on like a sort of a horror-y sort of storyline, and it doesn't really fit in generally with the overall feel of what Rainbow Six would be. As part of Chimera, you also get your two new operators, Fink and Lion. Now, back when it was announced during the ESL finals that they were going to be introducing this mode, it created a lot of controversy. The main reason for it being so controversial was that it was so completely out of style with what Rainbow Six Siege is all about. Rainbow Six Siege is very much a tactical, methodical, slow, paced, not so much realistic because it is still quite arcadey, but very tense, team-based action game. This very much sounded like it was going to be, it was expected to be a very cheap zombies mode, which sort of came out for the Call of Duties. It felt it was supposed to be just another version of COD's zombies mode, and everyone sort of expected it just to be on the same maps. Probably it was going to be like a map like House or something, and it was basically just you walking around maps that you've already very familiar with, but instead of terrorists, it was going to be zombies. It was basically going to be Terrorist Hut with zombies, or so that's what we thought. What we got was something very, very different. So unlike zombie modes for Call of Duty, which, let's face facts, is noutness on it really. There isn't really a story to it. There's not a lot going on. It's just rinse and repeat. Build up your points until you can move to the next level. And that was the sort of thing for zombies mode for COD. This has an actual story. There's a Soviet satellite that crashed in New Mexico, and Rainbow, for whatever reason, bit out of side their remit, like, gets called in to deal with what's happened, because what's happened when the satellite's crashed is, in normal horror movie sort of style, it's landed and it's got some sort of infection or some sort of alien thing or whatever, which has turned the local population into zombies. And it's not just one type of zombie either. There are multiple classes of zombies. You've got your roach zombie, your breach zombie, a couple of different types of zombies. So they have put, Ubisoft Montreal have put some thought into what they were doing. They could have so easily just made a load of just, feet dragging zombies in the style of Walking Dead. They haven't. You've got a strong variation of different types of zombies. It's also objective driven as well, so you don't just go onto a map and wander around like on Terrorist Hunt shooting zombies who don't know what's going on. You go into very specific areas of the map to do certain activities. It might be to move on from one place to another, to get a bit of research, to plant an explosive device, all these sort of things. Try to make it feel like there's some sort of story there. The map, whoa, this was not expected. When it was announced, everyone, like I say, thought it was just going to be just one of the existing maps, or maybe two existing maps with zombies dropped in on top of it, very cheaply done, almost as a get out of free sort of clause to say, we've delivered something, but it really hasn't turned out that way. It's actually turned out to be 3 whole brand new maps, and I don't mean like maps with 1 or 2 rooms. I mean actual good sized maps. These will be the equivalent of levels in a fully fledged zombie based shoot 'em game. This patch could actually have been the first 3 levels of a 30-hour single player zombie experience. They really have put a lot of thought and effort into making extensive maps, more so probably than they did for the likes of theme park and stuff. They actually have impressed me quite a bit with the amount of effort and time they've actually put into it, significantly making an impact and trying to improve the expectations of what was initially thought when it was very first announced.
She has a vaccine. Maybe she has a cure. Maybe I can stop working in a quarantine tent that's lined with claymores and C4.
You're a humanitarian, and I'm not sure you can afford to be.
You have a better option on the table? because we're barely containing this. And I hope you have a solution that doesn't involve a nuclear response. I heard the talk.
Okay. Let's try it your way. Let's extract Dr. McIntosh and pray to God she's got answers we can use.
Merci.
So how does it play then? So unlike your normal Rainbow Six Siege, you're not on teams of 5 fighting another team of 5. It is 3 of yous, just 3, against the zombie horde. It's very fast. It has a lot of scare jumps and adrenaline, and if you're playing this by yourself in a dark room, you will jump. They very quickly appear in your face. They come out of nowhere. They come out of unexpected angles, the zombies. There are boss fights in this game, which was completely unexpected, and again sort of out of character with what you would have thought of the Rainbow Six title. You feel quite desperate a lot of the time, especially in there's 2 types of mode, normal and pandemic. Pandemic is your veteran, your hard level, and it feels very desperate. You're always conscious of how much ammunition you've got. You're almost conscious of the fact that your flanks are up in the air. You're always conscious of where your teammates are, and if you're not careful, your teammates can run off and get lost. It's so easy to get separated in this game, and once you're separated, you are in trouble because you will be picked off like sitting ducks. The enemies are also quite smart as well. So this is not Metal Gear Solid Survive. Do you know what I mean? This is not Metal Gear Survive where the zombies don't know how to use walls. Do you know what I mean? These zombies will come through windows. They will breach walls. They will actually blow up holes in walls so that they can come through walls, and they will come at you in numbers, at speed, in force, hell bent on getting you. It is quite an adrenaline pumping experience, like very good. Like I say again, can't stress this enough, completely different to the base game, but pretty damn good considering that it's a free content, Speaking of content, there are extras as well, so depending whether you're purchasing Rainbow Six for the very first time, or if like me, you've been on it for quite a while, will depend on what you get. If you're purchasing it for the very first time, you'll get 10 Outbreak packs. Now if you're like me, you've been here a while, you'll get an Ash Sidewinder uniform, like the legendary uniform that you get. It's a brand new one. Ash basically is wearing like a khaki outfit. She doesn't really look like herself. She hasn't got her shades on. Her hair's a bit different, and you get 4 packs rather than the 10. Now what are Outbreak packs? So there's 70 Outbreak packs in total, and you can't gain these by gaining renown. You've got to purchase these in-game with in-game currency. With the exception of when you get them when you very first start, that's the only way to collect them all. So if you're a bit of a completionist, a bit of a collection nut, you like to be able to have your little, dangly things hanging from your guns that no one else has seen and stuff and that's what you've got to do, but it might cost you a fair bit. An advantage of it though, if you are into that sort of thing, is that it won't allow you to have duplicates, so you'll always purchase unique items. But the fact that they can't be earned in the game, for me, is a little bit of a downer. But I do get it. When you think about it, you do get a lot of game for your money. Like, you could just basically buy the base game and you don't have to purchase anything else. Now, Ubisoft have to make money somehow. I'm the biggest person to shout out against microtransactions and this, that and the other and stuff and that. Even to the fact that I don't even think cosmetics are a good idea because the likes of EA and stuff can't be trusted with it. But in this game, I do sort of get it. They've got an ESL going. They've got a very vibrant scene, but they can't just survive and run that on your original purchase price. They've got to get it from somewhere, and I don't have a problem with them charging a little bit for Outbreak packs. That's fine by me.
Ammo station here.
So what's my final verdict on it then? Well, I'm going to be honest. Despite the fact that it's completely out of character with the base game, like it is chalk and cheese, I actually think it's kind of good. It's free. It's free, people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't cost you anything. You're getting this update for free. And like I said earlier, this could be the first couple of levels of a bigger game. Like, this is of such a high quality that this could easily be the start of another game. They've put that much thought and effort into it. Very impressed, if I'm honest. They've obviously put a lot of hard work into it, which is why I suspect It will not be that 1 month one-off thing. They've put too much time and effort into it. It'll come back. I don't doubt that at all. This mode will come back at some point. It'll come back at Halloween. It'll come back maybe over like a Christmas or something. You have not seen the end of Outbreak. It will not last for the next 24 days and then be gone. There's no way on this earth. They've put too much time and money into it. What I would like to see though is a return to normality, please. Don't continue with this line of update. Don't think, oh, you've hit on a good idea here, let's bang out a couple more maps and a couple more stories, to the detriment of the rest of the game. The rest of the game, especially in ranked, needs more maps. We know they are aiming for like 50 to 100 operators. They're talking about like a 10-year life cycle for this game, man. I know that, I understand that. But don't think this is the start of a whole new direction for it, and they're going to have to start doing like more stories for this particular mode or more maps and stuff. And that Ubisoft, Montreal need to make sure that they go back to where the fun is, and that is creating more maps. So with the exception of that, with the understanding of that, I think it's a hit. I don't think it'll overpower the base game. I don't think it'll take over it. I think they understand what they have, and as long as they understand that this isn't going to be a replacement of the original game, which they get, they fully understand how good it is because they have a thriving ASL community watching it and stuff. I think they understand this is a nice one-off thing. It's a bit of a treat for everybody. Gives them something to think about. Takes the mind off the original sort of game-based style. If you fancy just a bit of mind-numbing sort of just bland things up without much thought into it, and that changes the pace up a little bit, gets people talking. Yeah, and it's free. It's free. Give it a go, man. Do you mean it's free? Get on it. Doesn't cost you a penny. And you might get a couple of nice little Outbreak pack items as well that you might fancy as well. So for me, yeah, it hasn't been a bad patch, if I'm honest. It hasn't been a bad update. Not complaining at all. Just don't expect to see any further updates for this sort of style in the future. And that's it for me. Thanks very much for watching. What do you think of the Outbreak the Outbreak pack? Do you like it? Do you think it's completely out of character with what Rainbow Six is and they need to go back to the base game? Should they have never released it? Should they have released it at Halloween rather than randomly at the start of the year? What do you think? Let us know. Leave some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. Thanks very much for watching. All the best. Ta-da.